what's working for our patients and what's not working for our patients. And that transparency and that give and take between colleagues is so important. We as physicians have to be very clear on the risk that it presents to not only our license, but to our practice and to our patients. I'm not against innovation and I'm not against moving forward. I love innovation. I want the newest, coolest, latest, greatest benefits for my patient. And I strive every day to look for those things. Talking about umbilical or birth tissue-based stem cell treatments. And how do I feel about it? I feel conflicted and curious because, number one, what are they using? Number two, where'd they get it? Number three, does it actually have stem cells in it? Number four, are they knowingly providing products that don't have stem cells in them? Or are they unknowingly, where they think they are providing stem cells and their product has been misrepresented and they're now providing a treatment that actually is not true? I'm Dr. Ariana Demers, the Queen of Orthobiologics, and I am here leading the way in orthopedic surgery innovation, shaping medical practices for success. So I am conflicted, and so, all the regulatory piece around this is definitely muddy and not helpful for physicians, not helpful for patients. And I think the only people that it's helpful for are the companies that are profiting from both of us. So I feel conflicted. Don't miss out. Please subscribe to our newsletter now to stay ahead of the world of orthobiologics. You can find the link below. Additionally, if you're ready to start this journey with me in my Orthobiologics Masterclass, come join us. So I had a conversation yesterday about this, about the new law that's gone into effect in Florida regarding stem cells. And in the room, there were 5 different opinions. And this was in the state of Florida, and these are physicians that are practicing in the state of Florida. And so everybody had a different take on whether it was allowed, wasn't allowed, what the translation of this law was going to be, what the enforcement of the law was going to be, and was this a good thing for their patients, and not a good thing for their patients? Was it a good thing for their practice? Was it not a good thing for the practice? My point to this whole conversation is that, number one, we as physicians have to be very clear on the risk that it presents to not only our license, but to our practice and to our patients. And we really have to be clear on whether this is beneficial or not for our patients. And we really have to be clear on the motivations of the companies. And I think therein lies the rub, because I'm not against innovation and I'm not against moving forward. I love innovation. I want the newest, coolest, latest, greatest benefits for my patient. And I strive every day to look for those things. That's the reason that my podcast and my webinars on Conversations in Regen are pulling back the curtain and looking behind the scenes of all of the new innovations happening. That's why I am always having conversations about what else can I offer my patients. At the same time, I want to make sure that my medical license that I worked very, very hard for and is really integral in how I care for my patients is not put at risk. When I talk to doctors about this issue of their license, and we're like, well, why would companies do something that's illegal? And I said, well, okay, so who breaks the speed limit? Who speeds when you're driving your car? Like everyone does, right? Well, we all know that's not a legal action. We're all illegally going over the speed limit. But the question is why? It has to do with the repercussions and the likelihood of getting caught, right? The likelihood of getting caught speeding is, pretty low. And the ramifications, if you're under 10 miles over the speed limit, you're probably not even going to get a ticket. And then even if you do get a ticket, well, you maybe have to go to traffic school and maybe it's fine. Is it worth it to take the risk? Most people would say yes. Now, if you went to jail on the spot, if you got pulled over for speeding, I guarantee no one would be speeding because I ain't got time for that. Like that risk is so much higher. And so what I think we forget is the risk to our medical license is so much higher than the companies who are marketing these treatments. The risk for the company is low. The risk for your medical license is much higher. And as an example, when Medicare had a G code for these injectables that the FDA didn't approve, that caused a major issue. But who was stuck holding the bag? It was a physician. So there are physicians going broke right now, owing Medicare millions of dollars in clawbacks. And where are the companies in this? The company made their money. They're fly by night. They're out of there. Where are the patients? They got probably a very good injection. Where's Medicare in this? Well, they're getting their money back too. But it's the doctors who are bearing the brunt of the risk. So when you ask about efficacy, right? So are they checking in with their patients to see if their patients are satisfied? Probably. Are they tracking their long-term data? Probably not. Are they doing patient-reported outcomes at 6 months, at 12 months, at 24 months, and are they tracking their data? I don't think so. That's not standard across the board as physicians. But as an innovative field, I think it is our responsibility to track our data and be able to tell our patients exactly what they can expect as an outcome from these innovative therapies. So innovation is key in continuing to find new technologies and new ways to help our patients. It is the responsibility of the physician to track our outcomes for our patients. And the innovation itself is not an issue, but the innovation without responsibility and without quantification of if it was actually a good thing or it just seems like a good idea at the time requires data. And so we really have to take it upon ourselves to continue to push innovation, push the needle forward, but also to track everything that we're doing, all of our outcomes. So, and I think we owe it to our patients, but also to our colleagues to show the outcomes, to demonstrate that the treatments that may be on the fringe, that may be outside the box, while it is outside the box, it's beneficial, and here's how we know. And that is how we innovate and push the needle forward and create it as a mainstream treatment that provides better care for our patients long term. So part of our community of like-minded physicians has been so beneficial to a lot of my clients who are wondering how to get started, what to tell the patient about these treatments, how to ensure the best outcomes. And part of that has to do with protocols and the creation and sharing of protocols within our community. And so I think it is an important piece of innovation is to have and share protocols on best practices, what's working for our patients and what's not working for our patients. And that transparency and that give and take between colleagues is so important as a huge piece of how we drive innovation, but also how we support each other in this quest for better, for not only physicians, but for our patients. So if you're wondering where this community is of like-minded, forward-thinking doctors, this is the community, our PRP Now community, and our Orthobiologic practice launch system has a community of like-minded physicians, and we get to talk face-to-face, on Zoom every week. It's ask me anything, but it's also bouncing ideas off of each other and having that supportive community within our network to give you the confidence to make decisions, to step outside the standard insurance-based box and find success in those cash-based practices, to find success providing orthobiologic care for your patients with the support standing behind you of the community and of the resource that you know you have where you can ask those questions every week.